Hi, I am reading the chapter two, the article within the topic of white privilege unpacked. There was a few highlights that really stood out to me. The elusive and fugitive, which explained a little of the realization of white privilege. And in the article, the author states that this is not a free country, and due to the white privilege explained in that article, another highlight I would say is the author shared how he had the white privilege and that doors would open up with for him, through no virtues, and they will open on their own. Like he really didn't have to work for anything. And I thought that was really good for him to share that, acknowledging that a lot of white people live their life like this and have their mindsets. And that's part of their culture and what they were born into. Which I'm sure we all read in the chapter. And another thing, he said, unpacking the invisible white privilege. In his list daily, he explained his experience. He took everything for granted. Most of those things he took for granted because he experienced this. He didn't really have to worry about it because of his white privilege, and they were just passed down to him as a white person. And I wasn't quite surprised of the chapter and the information that was shared in there. Um, the author also explained that, um, just being born into white privilege, it was passed down as a white person. And the mindset that's brought on through that too is the assumption of being the main culture, also with privilege. He didn't experience, he criticized with the assumption and the dominance of his culture. He felt free to criticize and freely judge, other groups. And again, that's when racism ties in later, if we kind of think of the big picture here. Also, this was really a good breakdown of white privilege. Also, in the article, another highlight would be not only the assumptions of white privilege, you know, white people carry. Also, too, he had the assumption of feeling confident and comfortable and knowing that the other group would be uncomfortable, alienated, and they were likely to feel that way or be, just regarded as that, you know, just that hostility. They would experience that. When he experienced whiteness and he felt protected, that protected him from hostility, distress, and violence. And then he shared again, also, too, that it would be put onto the other group, which is minorities. So he considered himself the dominant race, just the main culture, and everybody else is a race. They have to deal with that. But we're the main culture. That's what white privilege unpacked, highlighted for me. And also, too, as a social worker, an informed social worker, it's good for us to learn these things to with clients and to quickly address them. Hopefully, the clients will acknowledge them and just the bias, the privilege, and then move forward on from that, along, we have a client with this mindset, right? And it'll present itself too with, you know, throughout the throughout the social work process. And the last thing I wanted to highlight too is this is a good topic. Again, I wasn't surprised by a lot of the information, and then also his daily privileges he shared. I was like, yeah, for example, I speak with my kids, and hey, when you go to school, make sure you walk safely, and this neighborhood or this, just keeping them informed. And sometimes not everyone has to do that, but depending on what demographic you're in, it's important to be informed, share with your family. And yeah, this was a really good reading and good topic. And hopefully we get to hear more about other topics too. Well, thank you again for listening to this, my discussion board. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.